Development Programs. Number one, Housing Development Program.
Housing is more than shelter. It is about security, opportunity, and building a better future. It is a foundation upon which families thrive, communities grow, and economies develop. Yet, for millions of Nigerians, access to decent and affordable housing remains a major challenge. Welcome to another insightful edition of Housing Development. I am your host, Ben Dodo Oche, and in this edition of Housing Development, we explore bold solutions to Nigeria's housing deficit, professionalism in real estate, the power of international collaboration, key takeaways from the 20th Legacy edition of ARHS, and an insightful look at how well Nigerians understand mortgages and the path to home ownership. To begin with, let's take a quick look at some of the top stories making headlines across the housing and urban development sector. From major policy decisions and emerging industry trends to Ministry of Finance Real Estate Investment Fund MRIF 2026 performance and the Nigeria Mortgage Refinance Company NMRC 2025 financial report.
The federal government has opened a 3-week verification exercise for genuine allottees affected by the revocation of residential and service plots in the defunct Dugba site and services scheme in Gwagwalada, Abuja. The Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development said the exercise will commence on September 7, 2026, as part of arrangements to relocate verified allottees to an alternative site within Gwagwalada. Affected allottees are required to present their original and photocopied allocation letters, payment receipts, valid identification, a sworn affidavit supporting their ownership claims, and passport photographs. The ministry said verification will take place on working days at the Presidential Technical Committee on Land Reform Office in Garki 2 and the Department of Lands and Housing Development at its Mabushi headquarters, warning that claims not verified within the 3-week window will not qualify for relocation. At least 5 people have died and 11 others were rescued after 2 buildings under construction collapsed at Gaida in Kumbotso local government area and Kona in Fage local government area of Kano State. The Kano State Fire Service said 6 construction workers were trapped in one of the incidents while an Islamia school building collapse left 8 students rescued alive and 1 later confirmed dead. The deceased included 4 construction workers identified as Sunusi Siraju, Bashir Ibrahim and Abubakar, as well as 14-year-old Khadija Muhammad from the school collapse. The fire service said the immediate cause of the collapses remained unclear, urging building owners, contractors, and workers to comply with approved safety standards to prevent further tragedies. The Housing Development Advocacy Network, HDAN, has called for an urgent review of development around waterways, drainage corridors, flood-prone areas, and designated green spaces in Abuja, warning that recurring flooding in the Federal Capital Territory can no longer be blamed solely on heavy rainfall. The group said rapid urbanization, blocked drainage channels, obstruction of natural waterways, and the conversion of green areas for development are worsening stormwater management challenges across the capital. HDAN urged the FCT administration to strengthen development control enforcement, protect floodplains and waterways, upgrade drainage infrastructure, and investigate questionable approvals that may have altered natural drainage patterns. It also called for regular drain maintenance, improved flood forecasting, and greater adoption of climate-resilient urban planning, stressing that preventing avoidable flood is cheaper than dealing with the destruction of homes, businesses, infrastructure, and livelihoods. The Melfi Real Estate Investment Fund (MREIF) generated 17.48 billion naira in total income in the first half of 2026, posting a profit before tax of 14.49 billion naira and profit after tax of 14.24 billion naira as its affordable mortgage lending program continued to expand. The fund's assets rose to 269.9 billion naira in June 30, with 131.67 billion naira disbursed as mortgage loans that have financed 1,909 completed housing units across 27 states and Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones. MREIF also provided offtake guarantees supporting 475 housing units under construction, while 87.2% of its mortgage beneficiaries are salaried workers and 12.8% are self-employed. The fund, which operates through 22 partner banks and mortgage institutions, also paid 12.8 billion naira in interim dividends to investors for the first half of the year, underscoring its growing role in mobilizing long-term capital for affordable housing finance. The Nigeria Mortgage Refinance Company plc (NMRC) recorded 6.462 billion naira in net interest income for the 2025 financial year, representing a 2.45% increase from the previous year despite challenging economic conditions. The company's profit before tax stood at 3.489 billion naira, a 7.5% decline from 2024, as high interest rates prompted the mortgage refinance firm to prudently manage its liabilities and contract its balance sheet. Despite the challenging operating environment, NMRC maintained adequate capital and liquidity while remaining compliant with regulatory and prudential requirements. Shareholders at the company's 12th annual general meeting also approved an 80 kobo dividend per share as NMRC reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening Nigeria's housing finance system and expanding access to affordable mortgage financing.
Those are some of the major stories making waves across Nigeria's housing and urban development sector. We remain committed to keeping you informed with the latest developments and the stories that matter most. Now to the AIHS, which brings together key industry players and decision makers to examine the challenges facing the housing sector and explore practical pathways to sustainable growth.
We must aggressively, underline the word, aggressively expand our mortgage base. Murphy are doing what they can. Federal Mortgage Bank are doing what they can, but it is grossly insufficient.
Land challenges as it affects low-income earners. Low-income households faces peculiar barriers in accessing land and housing. Many are unable to afford the high cost of land in urban centers. Otherwise, others live in informal settlements without secure tenure, making them vulnerable to displacement and limiting their abilities to access credits for home improvement or housing development.
No affordable housing policy can succeed without an efficient, accessible, transparent, and secure land administration system. Land remains the foundation upon which housing delivery, urban development, economic prosperity, and social inclusion are built.
We believe, as from Wema Board, that there is need for everybody to be involved. Government must be involved in creating an enabling environment for housing to be achieved. Investors must also participate in the old scheme. Developers must innovate, to bring in technology that will make it happen faster than envisaged. And of course, community that we want to serve must also be included in the entire process.
With Nigeria's housing deficit continuing to demand bold solutions, partnerships, innovation, and private sector investments have never been more important. In this segment, we hear from Dr. Segun Abolaji, CEO of Leisure Court Limited, on how the company's 1 square meter initiative is making land ownership and real estate investment easy, affordable, and inclusive.
Now, what we are doing, with 1 square meter initiative is you are buying, in bits. You're buying real estate in bits. It means you buy what you can afford and hold it. So the 1 square, okay, for example, if you're buying 1,000 square meter anywhere, there's a unit price for 1 square meter.
Yeah.
It means if the price is 1 million naira divided by 1,000 will give you the cost of 1 square meter. So we say people can buy as low as 5 square meters. If you buy 5 square meter, unlike the conventional land banking, where you have to buy, they can even give you payment plan. So with a lot of conditions, like, if you can't meet up, you lose your initial deposit and all that. No, you're not losing anything here. If you can afford 5 square meter, you buy that 5 square meter and hold it. So it means that once you pay the first deposit, you already have your allocation letter for that little portion that you have keyed into. Going forward, if you have more money, maybe next month you can still buy another 5 square meter, you can buy 10, you can buy 15. If it adds up to 150 square meter, which is the minimum that you can build, then you are good to go. You take possession of your land and build it. If you can't, the value would have increased over time. It means that you can now sell back to the company at the prevailing market rate, the prevailing value at the point you want to sell. So minimum of 6 months, then you can dispose of if you can't continue. So that's the initiative. It means that you hold what you buy. It's not in the bush. You have a land that has a good title, CFO, not title that you say, okay, you go and meet somebody, CFO title. That's what we said.
Thank you for staying with us. From expanding access to land ownership to allowing buyers access micro-land banking, the conversation points to one theme: solving Nigeria's housing challenge will require bold ideas and collective action. Still on our interactions with stakeholders in the build sector, it's important to note that since 1974, Nigeria has recorded more than 650 building collapses with over 1,600 lives lost, a sobering reminder of the consequences when standards, expertise, and accountability are compromised. In real estate, professionalism is therefore more than a credential. It is about trust, transparency, competence, and responsibility. So how can investors identify professionals and developers they can truly trust? We explore the importance of professionalism in the sector with Dr. Akosu Paul, Group Managing Director of SOLAP. Let's hear from him.
Professionalism is everything so far as building construction is concerned. And in relation to the building collapse, I would say it is not as if the professionals are not there. The major gap is the aspect of enforcement. All right. So you see that there are standards. Before you are supposed to undertake a construction, particularly a story building, even if it's one floor, there are certain things that must be done, from foundation engineering, where you do the soil testing to ascertain the load-bearing capacity of that soil. You go to, okay, that will also influence the type of materials you are using. And these materials must be taken to the lab for testing as well. Now, the mistake many people do, clients, even developers do, who are really not professional or who doesn't take these things serious, is that they ignore this. Somebody just go and start building a 4-story building on any ground simply because maybe he has the money to do so, without really understanding, okay, what is the soil texture? And I will give you a classical case study. Recently, we are doing a project at around Garki here, and we did a foundation design. And the foundation we did, when we now went in to do the soil testing, we discovered that that foundation cannot stand there. Reason, that place is a borrowed pit.
Okay.
If we didn't go for that foundation, that soil testing, we won't discover that. We just assume that the place is okay. We go and pull that building, and at the end of the day, something can happen there. Maybe a collapse. So these are the issues. If professionals and the clients, developers are ready to follow the standards, the issue of building collapse can be at least reduced greatly.
Clearly, professionalism in real estate goes far beyond a company's name or reputation. It is demonstrated through transparency, proper documentation, quality delivery, accountability, and the commitment to keep promises. We'll take a short break now, and when we return, Housing Development continues with more insightful conversations and stories shaping the housing sector. Stay with us.
I highlighted what we're doing to make sure that unhoused Nigerians get houses.
Having a roof over your head is not a privilege, it's a right.
This is the 20th anniversary. As you can see, the conversations are getting deeper, the connections are getting stronger, and the opportunities are open for everyone seated in this room.
Kudos to them for doing this for 20 years. Congratulations.
You're still watching Housing Development, your trusted platform for insightful conversations and the latest developments shaping the housing and real estate sector. Now, we return to the 20th AIHS Legacy Edition, where exhibitors showcased innovative products, services, and solutions driving transformation across the industry. Here are some of the conversations from AIHS Art 20.
We wanted to be in a space where we give opportunities and we give services to low-income earners according to what the theme of the year is, the theme of the program this year is all about. So we want our clients to also see that we are also in a space of giving affordable yet premium opportunities, premium investment to them. So that is the intriguing thing about it.
This is a place where we can network, where the big shots in real estate gather together. It gives us an avenue to interface with all of them under the same roof. Sometimes you might have challenges of trying to go and meet them in their various offices or location, but now they are all gathered in one roof. So it's a kind of opportunity for us to also interface and network and brainstorm, and also see how we can move the real estate forward.
More clients to come buy properties because our properties are genuine, affordable, and we have properties in all the location. Just name it, any location you want.
We are here just to show the new technologies, especially for the cordless, the batteries technologies that we have for all tools. So our main job is to present the high premium brands to the market with a high quality, like Milwaukee, like CarSharp, okay, and then we will explain to the customers the why quality-wise we have to upgrade ourselves with the performance, with the life of the machine for the downtime of the sites. So this is our main object.
What we are exhibiting here today is accessible and affordable housing options for all Nigerians, because that is what we believe in our organization. We believe that every Nigerian deserves a home easily. So what we are offering here is all our houses we have You know the best part of it? We have mortgage options for all Nigerians to harness. We help you get mortgage within 6 weeks or less than 6 weeks, and you become a landlord within 48 hours.
Housing remains one of the most pressing issues confronting Nigerians today, with affordability, access to decent homes, infrastructure, and rising construction costs continuing to shape the conversation. Beyond that, understanding the financing options available to prospective homeowners is equally important. But how well do Nigerians actually understand mortgages? Do people know how a mortgage works? Who qualifies for one? And how it can help turn the dream of owning a home into a reality? Let's take a look at what Nigerians really know about mortgages and home ownership.
If a house worth like, let me just say 30 million now, there's mortgage can come now say, okay, well, this is how that worth is 30 million. You pay a certain percentage. This certain percentage now will be like, okay, mortgage can say, okay, pay 10%. This how much we are going to be done every month or quarterly or every year. It depends the initial agreement you may have with the mortgage.
The mortgage is a bank that helps those who cannot afford to build a house of their own, to get a loan or facility, or the mortgage could as well build and hand over to them, and is deducted subsequently for wherever they work.
A mortgage is I'll take it as a loan order from the bank. Maybe that's a concentrate only on the loans of houses. Then they will give you a kind of a place to have. Then after some few you pay, instrumentally, yearly. That is depending on the agreement between the owner who wants to buy and likewise the bank. The bank.
Federal Mortgage Bank is tailored towards, assisting those who are maybe government workers and are unable to build their own houses. So through such mortgage arrangement, they're able to own their houses.
A mortgage, just like what we have in the Western world, is when the government provide you with housing facilities and the citizens in time pay off, according to their strength or according to the percentage in which they agreed upon.
Mortgage is a financial institution giving out a particular amount of money to build a house or an edifice. It could be office, it could be store.
Mortgage is like an instrument where maybe the government pays upfront for you for a house, and then you now start contributing towards a payment through a long time.
Mortgage is a term used in the housing environment, housing scheme, whereby a particular house being given out on a particular loan agreement and with a particular years of agreement for total payment.
As a layman knowledge, I know that it's a bank that supports civil servants to secure a house, like an intermediary between the government and the civil servants.
It is clear that understanding how mortgages work is an important step towards making home ownership more achievable. That brings us to the end of another insightful edition of Housing Development. We hope today's conversations have given you a deeper understanding of the policies, innovations, investments, and opportunities shaping Nigeria's housing and urban development sector. For more updates, exclusive reports, and housing-related contents, follow Housing TV Africa across all our social media platforms displayed on your screen. I am Ben Dodo Oche. Keep watching Housing Development Program, your trusted voice for everything housing, real estate, and urban development. Until next time, stay informed and keep building the future.